Hi, Leo. It's Angela from Grounded Dreamers. Here we are. We're going to do a mid-May reading, energy update for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm going to say it every time. It doesn't always mean that, the timeline from May 15th to May 31st is the only time these energies are at play. It's really simply a matter of I recorded it sort of mid-May and posted it, and you can take that energy and move it through any timeline that you like, because energy doesn't really do time. It just is, and it forms itself as we go. And yeah, so it's not really as important that we're tagging this May 15th, but it feels good to kind of go, okay, what can I focus on this month? What can I sort of tune into so that I can make some changes, personally and keep developing myself. Okay, I pulled an oracle card for us from a butterfly-based deck, thinking of transformation and moving into new spaces of awareness for us. And for you, Leo, I'm a Leo, for us, Leo, I got take the next step now. Interesting, because this really hit home for me. I am on the brink of, creating this extra sort of business that is a departure from the business that I use to earn and keep everybody fed and sheltered. And I really am feeling the momentum for it. So I'm ready, and I'm breaking it down. I know what my goals are. There's a big, wide vision for it. And right now I'm barely in the beginning of it, sort of still in the little cave in the dark, but, moving forward is only possible by taking each practiced step, right? Each planned step. I try to move through, obviously use my intuition and also my planning and organization to see what takes shape. Like we just had an event through Grounded Dreamers. It was an online virtual sort of a psychic fair. It's called the Mystical Fair. And we did this, as a test, sort of a beta. And we had practitioners, psychics, a pendulum person, and an astrologer, and different kinds of healers and light workers on the panel. And it was a Zoom event, and everybody came in and went into their rooms and had sessions with everyone. And then we would move from session to session. And it was wonderful. But that idea was not in my original plan for what Grounded Dreamers was going to be and become. That idea kind of inserted itself partway through and had a life of its own. So we created it, and we so now it's kind of back to we have that idea now. It's operating, it's working well. I'm probably going to promote another fair coming up. But that whole picture that I still have in mind for Grounded Dreamers is still in process. So I've got a lot of next steps as far as take the next step now. I have a lot of choices as what to do, what to do and when. Okay, I have our Zen spread here. Let's get into it. Sorry for chatting so much. I got excited. All right. So for you, Leo, taking the next step in a project, in a relationship, in your personal development. This could be a literal, like physical move, like move into a new workout routine, or, have a new self-care practice, whatever these achievements are. And it could be a small one or a large one, right? It's time to take it forward. Okay. We have here this little spread. This is our starting point. Start here, internal support, external manifestation. The pivot card here is the key to moving forward. And then we move through the energies and we come up here to a new space where we're in a new level of consciousness as it pertains to our topic here, which is take the next step now. I love it. Okay, starting point is inner voice. Yeah. The one way forward. Always. Remember, I just said, I try to keep my intuition on board too. I have a strong, logic and intellect side that likes to, plan things out and make sure it adheres to an outline. But if we don't also keep our intuition in the picture, we end up, creating something that is sort of a shell of our truest being, right? We need to make sure we're being guided by our inner being as well. Okay. There's a balance to it. So that's our first step. That's our first clue into how to take the next step, right? Listen to your inner voice. Okay. And then within you, you get excited. Look at that. You start to realize, okay, I'm going to take that next step. She's literally taking steps into this rainbow light that she's in the middle of a forest, doesn't really know what's up ahead, but is willing to go, right? Eager to go and discover the unknown, right? Sometimes when we want to take that first step, it's like I said, we want to have it plotted and planned and organized, and we want to know what to expect. That isn't always the case, and we have to start to acknowledge that in order to make some real progress, right? Our intuition can also be on board to guide us. And then we can get excited within and know, hey, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this first step. And you know what? If that first step takes me into a place where it doesn't feel exciting and good, I might try one more step toward it. And then if it still doesn't feel exciting, I might change course, but that's okay, because the whole thing is about discovery, right? Each of those first steps, it's about discovery and then curating your path so that it fits your own inner voice and your own way of being. In your external world, look at how this shows up, fully aligned. This Lover's card, if some of you are seeing this guidance, taking the next step now, if you're taking this guidance as literally like in a relationship, then look at that, you've mastered it, right? You get the alignment with another. But if this is more internal and more of your own spiritual work, it becomes heart fulfilling, right? Following my intuition and being willing to take a couple risks and move into the unknown is highly fulfilling for my heart. It feels really good, right? To take a risk and come out unharmed, to take a risk toward that first step and learn from it and make progress that's authentically aligned, right? That's a beautiful outcome there to this process. Okay. Our key to moving forward here, this pivot card, look what we got, Leo. I was just saying it. I have a really strong mind, a really strong intellect, but it can get too busy, right? If we are here using our strong mental capacities to push us forward in everything in life, that's a way to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But is it aligned with my intuition as well? Is it aligned with my heart? Because if not, it starts to feel just like empty mechanisms, right? Just functioning within our minds. Like I said, it's one way of doing it, but it's not as fully fulfilling. It's not as, we don't embody the experience as much if we're just checking lists off, right? So when it starts to get crowded in your mind, drop into that inner voice space, drop into your intuition, clear your mind, meditate, go for a run, go sit in nature, whatever it is, so that you can clear your mind in order to move forward in your path with clarity. Okay. So this is going to always kind of be the key, right? Check back in with your mind, check back in with how crowded it is in there, and remember to take time to clear it so that you can continue to move down your path. And then the two cards at the top here are kind of the outcome. Oh, look at this one, breakthrough. So so I'm willing to take my next step, even though sometimes, this might be a little challenging, like it may make us feel vulnerable to take that step toward that which we want. But remember, I love the placement of these cards, because that center row here, this is your basic function in how to achieve this. This is the basics here. 101 intuition, willing to take a risk, and then, making sure that you acknowledge how good that feels to take that risk. And then dropping the mental chatter. You'll soon find that, and this breakthrough card is, mostly that third chakra energy. This is self-empowerment. This is like, hey man, I did that, right? I did that. And I came out of it relatively unharmed. I took that chance, took that step, and I did it, right? And so now you can start the process all over again. You take that next step, right? And then the very final card there is creativity. So this kind of also, this could either mean that this template, this Zen spread that we just pulled, is a new creative way of going about it. If it's not a practice that you have regularly, tapping into your intuition, recognizing I can take one step and see how that feels, and then take another step and feel that out. I don't have to take all the steps at once. I do not have to adhere to any certain checklist or an order of events in order to succeed. I don't have to adhere to that. My mind may tell me that I do, but we have ways to quiet that too. But the creativity card, that could just mean simply, oh, this was a new creative way to approach it. And this could also mean that that next step has something to do with a creative project, the inspiration you get deep within to try something new, an actual birth of a project or a relationship or a human. So creativity, that card can mean a few things, but the personal breakthrough is undeniable. That if we can stick with that sort of three basic, listen to my intuition, within sort of imagine this as an adventure and be willing to take that risky step toward the unknown, just be willing, then it has a very satisfying sense of accomplishment. And then you repeat it, and then you next step and next step. So I love this. I'm going to save this one for myself as I work through all the steps it takes to build my new empire, Grounded Dreamers empire. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. Thank you, Leo. It was good to sit with you here, and I'll see you guys soon.